Identity. It's what makes us who we are. By its very definition, it is the fact of being what or who someone or something is. In 2011, like many years before and after, there was a push to conformity. People were expected to follow trends and go into popular professions of the time. And eventually, people lost their identity. They lost what made them, well, them to begin with, and social norms became their identity. Somewhere along the line, a group was no longer defined by the members that had created it, but rather, the members had taken up the identity of the group and washed their own identity away. Which is boring! One way people escaped their loss of identity was through video games. But no games allowed players to regain their own identity. They just allowed them to take up the identity of someone else. The popular format for games has been a linear one. You play as the character they give you, and no one else. You play the missions without allowance for exploration, and nothing else. You play the story they give you, and nothing else. But one game, released in 2011, set out to form its own identity, by letting the player regain their own. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim introduced a new type of game. It centered on player choice. From the dialogue options to the free story, it doesn't have the player take up the identity of the character. The character is based off the identity of the player. In Skyrim, you shape the character, and everything he or she does, and bit by bit, you imprint yourself on that character, and your identity shines through. Have you ever wanted to tell that one condescending person to go themselves? No matter how much you want to, you probably can't do that. I know I can't, because then I'd get suspended. But in Skyrim, you're allowed to express yourself in several ways. Be the daring hero that everyone loves, suck up, not care, or be that one douchebag that's very blunt. The point is, Skyrim allows the player to freely express themselves, no matter the situation. Whether you're talking to a jarl or a peasant, the game gives you the authority and the empowerment to speak what you want, and not just what is appropriate. Traces of conformity can be found throughout the world of Skyrim. It's in the way the NPCs dress, the economic classes, and the political and religious views held by the citizens. The player has the choice to either conform or remake themselves into something entirely different. It's pretty realistic, and you don't have someone judging you every 5 minutes.
Oh, something stinks of death.
Never mind. From the start of the game, you're a blank slate. You have no name, no face, no personality. But the player shapes that to be whatever they want. They shape the character's identity from the start, and they can either conform to the world around them or break away to walk their own path. Want to be a merchant, selling rare items throughout the province? Go for it. Want to be a serial killer and murder people for fun? Hey, I ain't judging. You can ignore the entire main quest if you want to, and just explore. There's a literal dragon crisis happening, and you can just ignore it. But you can't ignore that test you have tomorrow. Just saying. The game is so free in its design that this is allowed.
You're the best. Can you be my father? Bye.
Parent of the Year award goes to this guy. Skyrim allows the player to explore the world as they see fit, and not feel tied down to any one mandatory thing. The world is filled with possibilities, and nothing is forced upon you. Except the courier. He finds you no matter where you go. Like, Seriously, how does he find me? It becomes a space where the freedom of story lets the player's identity shine through. The choice this game gives coerces the player's identity to come out, because there's nothing holding them back. They don't have to play as the Dragonborn, and if they want to be something else, they can. The world is open to them. Conformity is all around us in the world. It was there in 2011, it is here now, and it will be here long after. But we don't have to let it wash away our identity. The best possible thing you can be is the best version of yourself. It's fine to take inspiration from others, but put your own spin on it. And make sure that no matter what, you don't lose what makes you, well, you in the first place. Skyrim gives us a blank slate so that we can shape it how we want. It gives us power so we don't feel pressured to be something we aren't. And it gives us a story when we can't think of one. So that when we finally save our progress and shut the game down, we aren't afraid to walk our own paths, even if we have to walk them alone.